Look at that eel and frog leg brode. Hello! I'm Matthew Horkey.
And I'm Shireen Tan. Together we are
Exotic Wine Travel.
We spent the last 3 years traveling around the world writing and speaking about unique and exciting wines. Our journey has taken us to both lesser known and established wine regions.
In 2016, we came to Croatia for the first time. We fell in love with the country and the wines, prompting us to write the book Cracking Croatian Wine, a visitor-friendly guide. Now we're at it again. We're going to retour the country and bring our book to life. We aim to take you deep into the Croatian food and wine scene. So sit back, relax, and join us as we go
Cracking Croatian wine.
Many visitors to Croatia flock to the Dalmatian Islands, and for good reason. However, on mainland Dalmatia, there's a lot to be discovered in terms of food and wine.
Pretty steep, man.
The steep vineyards of Kamarna are just north of Dubrovnik. This is a relatively new region where Plavac, Mali, and Pošup are grown organically. Producers like Rizman, Teremađi, and Volarević are making some exciting wines here. We don't have time to stop on this trip. We're heading to the Neretva Delta. It's a unique green landscape that stands out like a sore thumb in bone-dry Dalmatia. It's here that the Neretva River comes down from the mountains in Bosnia and finally meets the Adriatic Sea. We're heading to the Prović winery located in the Hotel Merlot. Here, Vjekoslav Prović makes wine with his father Branko and his sister Monika. They're one of the few producers to work with the rare white grape Zlatarica.
As I said, it's just third year we're making it, so we're still learning. It's a variety that was almost forgotten in the area because wine growers had a difficult time selling the grapes. Zlato means gold in Croatian, and it gets small like brown spots on it. And when wine growers would sell it on the markets, people used to think that it was beginning to over-ripen and that it wasn't good. Wine growers started to see the potential as well, so I think it's now on the rebound. And it makes for a very light, fruity, floral wine.
We taste the latest vintage of the excellent fresh Chardonnay. Prović also makes a food-friendly rosé from Syrah and Merlot, and a juicy red blend of Cabernet and Merlot. It's been a long day, so we make our way to our wine-themed room for the night. The next day the sun is shining and we are excited. The Prović family has cooked us up a tradition Neretvian meal. Because of the wetlands, the food from Neretva is markedly different from the rest of Croatia. The first dish is a spicy blue crab over pasta.
There's something really fragrant about it.
This is spicy and fantastic. This is outstanding blue crab. Next is the local specialty, grilled eel with polenta. This species of eel is particular to the Neretva Delta, and Shireen is thrilled.
It's prepared on the fire, on the grill, with simply the salt, but it tastes really sweet. Just the right amount of fat that gives you this like smooth oiliness on the mouth. It's really good.
The second main is an eel and frog brode, or local stew. The frogs are caught by hand.
You put a strong light on the top of your boat. That's the small boat I was showing you in the cellar, and you can catch the frog because it's blinded by light. You can catch it by your hand.
This isn't a dish for everyone, but it's spicy, earthy, and delicious.
You taste this, you know this is not from the sea. This is from the river.
Yeah.
We're stuffed, but it's time to move on. We're heading up the coast to the city of Primošten. The surrounding areas of the city are known as a prime spot for the great Babić. We first went to the locally famous Babić vineyard known as Bušević in 2016. It's a UNESCO-listed site and something to behold. There are several excellent producers of Babić in the area, like Croatian, Zlatarica, Biren, and Rak. To the north of Marastina is the town of Skradin. Most visitors come here and take the boat upriver to the nearby Krka National Park, which is known for its crystal clear waters and numerous waterfalls. Above the national park is the tiny village of Plastovo, which is home to several unique wine grapes. Ante Sladic Winery is a small producer who focuses on these local wine grapes. He grows the red grapes Plavina and Lasina in addition to the white grapes Debit and Marastina, which he tells us about.
Old varieties that grows here for a few hundred years or even more, and probably these varieties are born on this area, so they are perfect in this environment, in this soil. Debit is really grateful. You can produce from sparkling to sweet wine, but maybe it's the best like young, fresh, crisp wine that has really strong minerality in Plastovo. Marastina is maybe better for production of heavy, complex wines. It was wine that you could find in pharmacy store before in the history. Yes, some doctors prescribed it like a medicine.
Ante keeps opening the wines and gives us a few local snacks to try.
Just sit down and lick on the chickpeas like they're ice cream, like it's ice cream.
Marastina is the same grape as Malvasia di Toscana. When done poorly, the wines can be bland, neutral, and lacking acidity. Shireen hasn't always been convinced, but Ante opens up a few older vintages of his orange wine and white wine. Let's see if he can convince her.
I feel spoiled by it. There's a lot of richness and depth and a very nice aroma. Honey wax is really nice. I wasn't expecting this.
This is what we want from Marastina.
Another grape Ante grows is Lasina. It makes light, low-alcohol red wines, and many call it the Pinot Noir of Dalmatia.
Lasina, it's really rare traditional variety. It grows only 50 kilometers around the Skradin area. Reason is because it is really hard to grow. Elegance, I think it's the best thing from Lasina, this elegance. And also unusual flavor.
Just down the road from Ante Sladic is Babić Winery. It's one of Croatia's most famous wineries, as nearly 50% of the wine is exported. The winery also hosted the late Anthony Bourdain during his No Reservations Coastal Croatia episode. It's the reason that we first visited the winery back in 2016. Ever since then, we've become close with the proprietor and winemaker Alan Babić. Alan's wife is a chef and does a spectacular tasting lunch and dinner during the tourist season. We're late for lunch, but Babić has prepared a few snacks for us.
Burek, like burek.
Huh.
So, salty muffin with pancetta and shallot, polenta with horseradish, mackerel pate with thyme. Riper and very different, but great acidity, but very unusual.
After tasting the new vintages, Alan takes us down to the cellar to show us a few more wines that are not yet released.
Yeah, a little bit easier, but no, you might to drink.
I'm not leaving a drop of this, I'm going to drink it all.
Alan has also worked with the grape Babić for years and tells us more about it.
Babić is, I'm not the best person, probably some guys from Primošten
Okay.
would be better persons than me to speak about Babić. Although we are producing Babić all here for centuries in Skradin area where we are right now. Babić is one of the, as you know, one of the best Croatian red grapes. It's not very good grape for doing it commercially in big vineyards. Lots of younger people are not working no more in the vineyards. Old people, no more.
The grape Alan is really passionate about is Debit.
Debit in my veins. Debit is the major grape in this area, white grape. For so many years it was, I don't know how to say, it was underestimated. All my grandparents, grandfathers and everybody think and dream only about Debit, so same with me. So when I started, my first mission was to recover the good name of Debit, and I think that I'm doing this.
If you could compare Debit to one international grape, what would you say it's like?
It's in the middle of everything and between everything.
Oh, bravo. No, I have nothing to say. This is completely unique. Cheers.
For the nightcap, we open an older vintage of Allen's Top Merlot, known as Sangreal. It's big, rich, and Pomerol in style. Every time we come to Babić Winery, we end up staying for hours on end, which sometimes tinkers with our schedule. This time we're smart and book an apartment nearby. In the morning, we head to Bistro Arca at the Scradin Marina. They have what is reputably known as the best prosciutto in Croatia. The owner also has a special recipe of Scradin risotto, which chefs Gordon Ramsay and the late Anthony Bourdain go gaga over. Today they don't have any risotto made, but they do have the prosciutto.
Oh, finally.
Okay, this may not be the risotto, but the soup and goulash is pretty darn good.
Oh, yeah.
We wish we could stay here all afternoon, but we still have one more stop on our retour of Dalmatia.
In the next episode, we'll take you to Hua and Babić Islands, where some of the country's most renowned wine producers are found. Hey, did you know that the world's oldest continuously planted vineyard is in Croatia? That's right, trust us to take you there. What's a trip without some delicious local food? We've got you covered. If you'd like to learn more about Croatia and Croatian wine, keep a lookout for our next episode and check out our book, Cracking Croatian Wine.